Yeah, I'm from the East Coast, so I'm actually from Washington, D.C. Yes, thank you. But actually, it's kind of funny when election season comes around because it's like my full moon. It's like I have to do everything in my power to like resist the East Coast. Like this shirt is from J. Crew. Like I never shop at J. Crew anymore. But I had to work today. I do work another job. Did anybody else work today? Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah. I work at a Pilates studio. Has anyone here taken a Pilates class before? Amazing. Oh, incredible. Well, if you haven't taken a Pilates class, it's a workout class for women with body dysmorphia. And if you don't know what body dysmorphia is, don't tell people that. But I gotta tell you, like, Pilates wasn't really giving me, like, the weight loss goals I was looking for. So instead, I decided to go with a classic diet method. Ladies, some of you might have tried it. A breakup! Thank you. So I am single now, but like all of my friends are married, and they're always telling me, they're like, Claire, don't worry, you're next. And I'm like, that's what serial killers say. But speaking of serial killers, I am on the dating apps. Yeah, Hinge is a lot like going to the DMV. You fill out a bunch of paperwork and no one answers your questions. So true, right? Right, seriously. But last night on Halloween, I was talking to one of my suitors. We were texting, and he was like, oh, did you get anything for trick-or-treating? And I was like, no, but I was really looking to get a full-size candy bar. And he said, cool, what's your favorite candy? So I think I got rejected, so unmatched immediately. No, but I am getting back into dating. I have to like relearn everything about astrology. And okay, so here's what I've learned so far. Okay, if you're afraid of the dark, you're a Gemini. If you're afraid of snakes, you're a Leo. And, if you're afraid of commitment, you're my ex-boyfriend. So my ex-boyfriend is Indian, but now I'm starting to date a lot of white guys again. And yeah, you get it, yeah. Are you guys together? Kind of. Perfect date, taking to a stand-up comedy show. Yeah, you can really see. You went on Hinge, incredible. Ad for Hinge. But yeah, dating white guys, it's a lot like taking vitamins. Like my grandma says it's good for me, but I choke every time I swallow. Oh. Yeah, that's disgusting. Should be illegal. But now that I'm single, I have a lot more time to watch TV. It's a great perk. I've been watching a lot of Survivor. Does anyone here watch Survivor? Yeah, it's a reality TV show. It's a competition game, and it involves a lot of sports, puzzles, and not showering for 40 days. Like, Jesus did not die on the cross for us to choose bad hygiene. And here's the thing, if you're good enough at the sports and puzzles and not showering, you have the chance to win $1 million, right? Pretty cool. But I mean, like, after like inflation and taxes, it equals to about like $75, so pretty good take-home pay. And the most amazing part about Survivor is it takes place on this like beautiful tropical island, but like not so much like a sandals resort, but more like Wilson. Yeah, people choose to go on that show. And if you didn't know, Survivor was actually invented by the devil himself, Jeff Probst. That man has not aged in 48 seasons. Okay, and he has somehow convinced consultants and project managers that they can live in the wilderness. Those people won't even leave the loop. Could you like imagine what a Survivor the Loop edition would be like? Like, this is what I envision. Okay, here's my pitch. It's like, Michelle is running late to her 9:30 a.m. core power yoga class, but pre-ordering at Starbucks is down, so she must explain her complicated oat milk latte order to the barista with a septum piercing. All while texting the group chat about how she saw Brad out last night with another girl. Want to know what happens? Will Michelle make it to her workout class in time? Find out this week on Survivor. The Loop. Yeah, Jeff, he's a special one. And here's the thing. Here's something that just blows my mind is that these consultants and these project managers, like, they actually think they can win the $1 million. It's like when you're watching the Olympics and your one friend is like, I could stick the landing, I could be Simone Biles. Yeah, it's like that kind of like casual confidence. It's like, where'd you get that from? But here's the thing, whenever I'm watching Survivor, I also think I could win. and that's how I know I have good mental health. It's like when I'm killing it, I'm like, yeah, I could outwin, outplay, outlast. But then there's days like today where I remember my idea of roughing it in the wilderness is staying at a Red Roof Inn. And I think I have this like real attachment to Survivor because I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid. Like my mom was really strict with the TV. I'm an only child, so yeah. Did that track? Were you guys like getting only child from me? Were you getting that? Okay, well you were wrong because I do have a brother. Yeah, thank you. But he's a lot older than me. He's like twice my age older than me. Like my brother's the kind of older than me where I think he might secretly be my real dad. And like, my mom is his stepmom, so you never know. But I haven't had a lot of time to watch Survivor or TV in general lately because I've been going to so many weddings. In the last 4 years, I have been to 21 weddings. Yeah, which means I'm just really popular. Yeah, that joke people pull back. They're like, oh, we don't know you. We don't know you. How popular are you? You're just saying that. No, it's true. The last wedding I was at was actually a family wedding, and my cousin was there. You guys, my cousin, he thinks he's so cool because he was in the Air Force. Okay, I served too. I was in a sorority. You think I wanted to do that? No, I did that for my country. Was drafted, paid my dues. But at this wedding, my cousin, he like marches over to me and he's like, hey Claire, just so you know, we're not gonna hang out after the wedding because I have a new girlfriend. I was like, ew, Kyle, we are not those kinds of white people. But how did you meet her? And is she prettier than me? And he goes, oh yeah, she's way hotter than you when we met on TikTok. I was like, TikTok? That is not a dating app. Please, I met my boyfriend the normal way. On Craigslist. That wedding that I just went to, it was actually the first wedding that I went to without my ex. It was kind of a bummer. Yeah, my ex and I, we did date for the last 5 years. Yeah, the last 5 years. And honestly, I gotta tell you, the only reason I stayed with him that long is because I wanted my life to be the plot of a musical. If you got that joke, you're my people. And if you didn't, you probably never supported your local community theater. But if you don't know, The Last 5 Years is a musical by Jason Robert Brown. It's about divorce. And they say when you put your mind to something, you can make it happen. No, we were never even engaged. But when I asked him about a ring, he did say he had a concept of a plan. So he was very well informed, Yes. But here's the thing, this really got me thinking, like, what would I want my life to look like if it was a musical? And not like if I was like performing in a musical, like that'd be great, but like if my life was the musical. So like Wicked, for example, is everyone excited for the movie? Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, just PSA, the movie is only part 1. That's not clear in the trailer, so if you were wondering, yeah, news to you, right? It's news to you. Okay, they said they filmed a part 2, so they better give it to us. But anyway, so if you've never seen Wicked, if you've never been cultured, it takes place in like the Wizard of Oz world, and it's about Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, and she gains a lot of popularity really, really fast. And then a nasty smear campaign absolutely gets her canceled. And I was like, oh, if I keep posting my stand-up on Instagram, that could very well happen to me. Hopefully not, though, hopefully not. And then I was also thinking about my all-time favorite musical. It's called Sunday in the Park with George. Yes, it's about the painter George Seurat. He painted the big Sunday on the Grand Jet. It's at the Art Institute in Chicago, my favorite painting. And the musical, it revolves around George and his lover Dot and their like terrible, disintegrating relationship. George is this like tortured artist who's really frustrated with his career, but absolutely cannot communicate his needs. And I was like, oh, I don't need a musical for that. I could just date another stand-up comic. No, won't be doing that. That's really toxic. But I have dated a coworker before. Has anyone here dated a coworker? Oh, yeah. You guys are crawling in the woodworks. I see you. It's really fun, right? It's fun. So his name was Colin. I was 22. He was 25. Older. I'm still 22 now, so no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You guys are like, no way. But anyway, so on our first date, he told me he had this girlfriend that died in a car accident. So I went home with him. And we get to his house, and his room is like covered with pictures of this girl. He has a frame of her next to his bed, and her obituary was framed on the wall. Yeah, and I hadn't seen that episode of Sex and the City yet, so didn't know what I was getting into. But afterwards, I went home and I went on the dead girl's Instagram. I had to check out the competition. Didn't help that we looked exactly the same. And I found a picture from like their anniversary or something, and she had a pet name for him, for Colin. Her pet name for him was Columbine. Yeah, right? Yeah, he dumped me after 3 weeks and I cried about it for a year and a half. But like honestly, you guys, he turned out to be a total predator, so I really dodged a bullet. Yeah, I didn't have to like hide in the library or anything. You guys, it's relevant, okay? Yeah, so as you can tell, I have a great taste in men. Absolutely great taste. And yeah, actually, my ex from high school was at the insurrection. Yeah. So I did turn him into the FBI. Thank you. I also turned in my cousin. He wasn't there, it just seemed like the right thing to do. All right, you all have been so amazing. Give it up for yourselves and for Malkie. All right, give it up for Claire one more time. That was awesome. That was great. I love